What up, people? What up? Fabiola here
And Matt, and this is
from Squares to Circles podcast. How are you guys doing? Oh my God, I've already missed you so much, and I don't even know you. I don't know why I'm so excited about this podcast, about becoming whole, about becoming a community of people that are on this same journey of self growth. Today, we're going to be talking about
realizations or downloads. And
what about it?
yeah, so I was thinking it started actually last year because I had a friend, sort of like a friend, an old friend. We used to be friends. Then later on, we grew up and we became more or less acquaintances. And well, he died last year, and I didn't really go to his funeral because, like, my grandfather had died also, so I felt like it was too much death um for
All at
me.
once. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I didn't really go. But when you started talking about that guy at the gym, I was again like reminded of him, and I came to the conclusion like that we should always be, nice to each other, like when we are talking, because you never know when it's the last time you speak with them, and you don't want the last words to be to someone, especially if it's a person you hear about, to be like, fuck you, or like, I don't never want to be speaking with you
So
again.
are you saying that I'm supposed to talk to all of the people that I have cut off because I never know when is the last time?
No, I'm telling you, especially friends and like people you care about, you know.
Well, but I mean, a good example right there is I'm not gonna mention names, but my really good friend that I just told you about that I got
Mm.
distance from. Like, is that one of those examples where I should think about it more before I completely distance myself from her because I never know if it's gonna be the last time?
I would say from her, definitely.
For her, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not in the group of people that are totally
Yeah.
completely toxic in that way,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
She's trying. She's trying. What up, girl? I know if you're watching this, it's about we're talking about you. You know who you are. So realizations. The last week has been crazy. I don't know if it's been the blue moon, full moon, full moon. I don't even know what it is, but I have been very sensitive to the energies around me. And yesterday I realized that it was just not me. It was my roommate told me a story that was specifically talking about what I was feeling. So to make a long story short, here I am worrying about my Google listing that got that got erased by me because I thought it was a duplicate. I erased it. They reinstated it, but it's suspended. And then I keep on trying to reinstate it, and Google keeps on telling me, no, you're not abiding by the rules. So yesterday or the day before, I woke up kind of like, not with my normal regular self. So I was just like kind of down, worrying about Google and the listing and my workers. I need to keep on getting work. I have mouths to feed. It's just not me. And then I get to the gym. And I have this gym friend, which I will be interviewing on the Stellium podcast on Monday. He will be the first guest for that podcast. I get there and I'm like, where's Steven at? And our other gym friend says, oh, he's really not gonna be able to make it anymore. Like he had a lung transplant, and his lung transplant is failing after 5 years. So that was like a bitch slap in my face. Like, you are worrying about Google listing, and there's somebody out there that's gasping for air, girl. Like, what are you doing? Like, what is going on? And the same thing happened with my mom yesterday. She told me something kind of about it. Like, she was just like talking about how she got in touch with some of her family members, and he reminded her how little you need it to be happy because it all comes from within. You don't really need money. You don't need this. You don't need that. And then Matt over here. tells me, well, I had this realization. So what
Mhm.
was your realization
Yeah,
with your dead
like
friend?
in short, like life is super fragile. It's super fragile.
It's like the fact that we are alive, it trips me out. It trips me out every single day. Like what? Like like I can think and I'm aware and I'm talking to you and you're talking to
Mm,
me and we're making ideas and we're being friends, like, and we're conscious. That it really flips me out. Like I really can't believe that we are so lucky to have been born humans. You know that the
mm,
chances of you being born human are, I believe, 400 trillion out of one. Like
yeah.
like you could have been born a tree or a dog, because energy never dissipates, it never goes away, so you were always reborn or something. But the fact that this lifetime we were both born human and we both got in touch. I mean, this dude is from Finland,
Mm.
I'm all the way from Venezuela. How the hell do we become best friends? Through
Well,
Instagram? Nobody
yeah,
knows, you know.
no.
but
Mm,
but it's very right, like being human and life is so, like he says, it's so fragile, it's so delicate, it's so rare, it's so, dude, we're gonna die, every day that we go. And that's what he was telling me about. It's like you never know when is your last time, like, and that is something that we have to deal with.
yeah, and I even actually have a crazier story. I remember this was before I moved to the city where I started studying. I was at my whiteboard, and I don't know what led me to do that, but I started counting out. Like I looked up like what's the life expectancy for someone born in 96, and so I checked. It was something around 82 or something. So I counted from this day right now, how many hours do I have to, like, how many hours do I still have left to live? And even if it's a lot of hours, it's crazy when you get it down to a number. It's crazy.
There's a productivity tip that I've heard from somebody on YouTube, where you have a calendar
Yeah.
and you scratch down each day, because each day is one day less
Mm,
that you will live. It's one day
yeah.
more that you're closer to death. And 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 I talk about death like this not to freak you out. It's just to normalize it. We need to
Mhm,
normalize death, right?
mm.
Like we're gonna die, and it's scary, like, how are we gonna die? Are we gonna suffer? Are we gonna? But I believe if you're a good person, you're gonna go out the best way that you can, and it's fine. But like he says, it's so fragile. So you really need to be careful and thoughtful, right, about
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
things
when
that
you
you say
said
to people.
like, yeah, when you said like go out, yeah, I thought like, yeah, we will go out in style, you know. But that too, of course. But and but what I was thinking, I guess, with that is like, yeah, it's crazy the calendar thing, like to,
But
but yeah, but like I guess there is like two kinds of people, you know. There are those who really don't care to make every day count, you know. And then there is like those who are very well aware of it and maybe even afraid of it, you know. And it's interesting. Like you
I
should,
like that. Aware
yeah,
of it and afraid of it. Yeah,
yeah,
aware of it. Fear is the enemy,
yeah. It
right?
is.
Because
Yeah.
most of our lives we live in fear, we live in doubt, and it's like you can never actually like get close to the point of
I
life.
wouldn't say doubt. No, I wouldn't say fear, but I would definitely say doubt. Definitely say doubt and insecurity, and you know,
But
uh,
that comes. Well, what do you think?
not
What do you think
yeah,
that
of
comes
course.
from?
Yeah, of course. Like it can come from fear, but it's But when you say fear, I'm immediately thinking like you're sitting there staring at the wall, crippled. When you say fear, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh, but there's all kinds of types of
Yeah,
fears, right?
there is different kinds. Yeah, there
It's
is
like,
like the because there is, but what you are talking about, the unconscious fear that is like holding us back. You know, it's not the crippling fear.
you got a good point there, Matt. Like, it's not the crippling fear, but it's that fear that lingers and that you know
Mm,
it's there, but it's not really stopping you, but it's really not pushing you forward either.
mm,
It and that comes from self-doubt, and that comes
mm,
from not having you feel worthless. You don't have high self-esteem. It comes from all kinds of stuff. I mean, back in the day, this dude is like, right, step by step, how to love yourself or how to become whole and blah 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 blah, because Matt over here, he's a total complete master square. Reasoning, organization, self-discipline, go, 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 push, push, push. And on top of that, he is somewhat of a circle. He's very creative, blah, blah, blah. But he tends to go more on the square side, meaning he's like, give me a step by step. And then here I am, a total circle with a little bit of square in me, you know, and and I'm like, but I just don't even know how to explain this, because we're trying to explain something so abstract. Like, how at the end of the day, Matt, what do you think humanity's point and goal is? Is to be happy, right? I mean, like I was telling my roommate yesterday.
Actually, I don't agree with that.
So what do you
Uh,
think is the point of life?
purpose, purpose.
But why do you think purpose is? Like, when you live in purpose, yes, that is the point of life.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
why?
but
But it
see,
makes you
see,
but it
here's
makes
the
you
thing.
happy, right?
Here's the thing. Happiness is the byproduct of purpose.
Right. But not because it's the byproduct doesn't mean that it's the main goal. Like, everything that people do, that you do, that I do, we're here right
Yeah,
now. It's because it makes us happy.
yeah, it is. It is. And people try very hard to attain happiness. There is so much content online about how to attain happiness, and we
Step by step, step by step. What's his name? Robin.
Robin, I don't know.
What's that guy that talks like he smoked a whole bunch of cigarettes?
Oh, Tommy Robbins, yeah. Tony Robbins.
Step by step. It's like, okay, very good. I'm sure you helped a lot of people, but it's not a step by step process to
Mm,
be happy. And
no.
like he said, it's all about purpose. But in order to find purpose, you have to find yourself. You have to love
Yeah,
yourself. You have to do so many things. So it's not a step by step anything. It's just more of a
no.
thing of awareness, right? Like,
It is, and everyone's journey is different, but like the happiness is sort of like a hint to where your purpose is, you know? It's like it goes like two ways. The like if like whatever makes you happy, you know, that's a hint to your purpose. And
whatever
if you
tickles your
do more
pickle.
of that purpose, then you get more of the happiness. It's
But
like
but
a weird, you know, cycle, you
but I
know?
remember back in the day when people used to talk about purpose,
Yeah.
I didn't get it. I mean, do you still like, can you honestly, Matt, tell us right now that you know what purpose is? Like, if you had to
No,
explain.
not really, not
Okay.
really. Like and it's weird because I've read books about this. I've
Right.
read books about
This is
this.
this is something that we have that we grow up listening to. We hear it all the time. Love yourself before you love someone else. Live in purpose, blah blah blah. But in my personal experience, when I wasn't there, I would be like, shut the F up. Like, what are you
Yeah,
talking about purpose? And I
yeah,
thought that it was a career. Well, my purpose must be music, or my purpose must be being an entrepreneur, or my purpose must be, and it's like you don't get it together. So that's why it never feels right until you actually find your purpose, which is, I'm going to put it simple to you guys. Purpose is putting your gift, what comes natural to you, what you excel at without thinking about it too much, what you do effortlessly and from the heart, what you are passionate about, and putting those gifts in service to helping others. When you get to do that, you live a life of purpose. Until then, you're pretty much just dead. You're just like a zombie. You're just like going through the motions. You go to work, blah blah blah, da da da, but you don't feel this excitement like that we are feeling right now because
mm,
we finally found a way to put our purposes together because we both want to help people. You know, we've been friends for
mm,
what, like almost 2 years now,
mhm,
and it's been a very, like we wanted to do it all at day one. Week one, release songs, do this, do that, da, 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 step by step, blah blah blah.
mm,
No, no, and it didn't work that way. And sometimes people get so hopeless because they want it right then and right now. And in order to get it right then and right now, the first step to do is go do some self discovery. Like if you love to sing, but the person that you're with hates when you're singing in the shower, why would you be with somebody like that that gets in the way of your gift? And half of humanity, and even more, most of humanity lives like that, just
yeah.
for
But
the
I can
view.
answer that question because it is very stupid, but it's very simple. Because if you find someone who wants to spend their time with you, you think, or most people think, I won't find anyone. Like, she's not what I'm looking for, but she's what I got, and I won't find anyone
And you
as good
settle,
as
and
that,
you
you know.
settle, and you settle,
Yeah,
and you
you
settle.
settle, you settle. But that's exactly how people think, you
That's
know.
exactly how people work. Like
Mm,
I work with a lot of customers that I go to their houses, when it
yeah,
comes to the landscaping side, I see how they interact, and it's all about they just settle and follow the book. Meaning you get married, you have your kids, you pay your mortgage, you have your insurance, you have these nice
yeah.
cars, you have your debt, and you can feel that they're just like dead inside. They're just going through the motions, right? And then here I come. They like you can see that like the little glitter in their eyes, like who the hell is this chick right here right now talking about dreams and stuff?
Mm,
And then I spark their dreams and they're like, well, yeah, back in the day I used to dream about this and look what I used to draw. And then I'm like, so that is the whole point of today's podcast is talking about the realizations and the downloads that we have gotten in the last week or two. And
mm,
for all of you out there that are going through the same thing, it's like, what is your purpose in life? Why do you think you were born? Like, are you here just to go through the motions, or are you here to actually live with purpose? And it's really hard. And whenever you don't find that purpose, oh well, we're getting a little rave lighting in there. When you don't find that purpose, you feel empty, you feel sad, you wake up, you don't really want to get out of bed. It's like everything becomes the same. And as you get older, people used to like digress. Is that how you say it? Digress or
yeah, yeah,
digress?
yeah. But
Because it's like, oh, well, now I'm 32, I'm 33, I'm 34, and now I'm old, Like, I'm like, no, dude, you're not. It's just the way that you feel because you feel
mm,
empty inside. Why? Because you don't have any purpose. You don't know why you're
mm,
here on life.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's how me and him connected.
yeah.
Why? Why did we connect? Because why? It wasn't even through music. It was
Like,
even,
I don't know, like we are similar. We have the similar minds. Like, we want to help people. So, like, you know. But hey, I want to ask you a question, and this is a very interesting one. So, do you think, of course, you're able to like get yourself out of whatever mess you throw yourself into, but like, I think in many ways, people when they do the mundane, and I guess that's like how our society is built in a way too. That, do you think people, um when they do the super square thing, they come to a point when it's super hard to like, accomplish their dreams? Like, when you go into like this, like, because I've been talking with my friends, and they're like, oh, like you need like 10% like deposit to be able to take a loan to be able to buy a house. And I'm like, why the fuck would you buy a house and take a loan and go into this long-term debt because everyone else is doing it? Like, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Like, so I'm asking, like, do you think that people put themselves, or do you think that people put themselves in a situation where there is very hard for them to accomplish their dream? What do you think?
I think that's exactly what happens, and it is because they are so fearless. I mean, so in fear to not fit in, and so they follow the crowd, they follow what
Mm,
everybody else is doing. It's so hard. It takes a lot of cojones, and if you don't speak Spanish, cojones means balls. It takes a lot of balls to go the other direction from where everybody's going, from society,
mm,
what we call the matrix, what we call being a square person. Well, being a square person is more than just following the rules and living in society. It's more just like the 3D qualities of, responsibility, of self-discipline, blah, 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 blah. And whenever people go all the way square, no good. But when people go all the way circle, no good, because
mm,
then there you're this dreamer and you're this hippie and everything is peace and love and blah blah blah, but you don't have the square side to make it happen. So the whole point of this podcast right here is that we need to have both. We need to master being squares and being circles so we can become triangles,
yeah.
right?
Hmm.
And it's like, what is a triangle? You may be asking. Well, it's whenever you have both sides balanced and you are a dreamer and you
Mm,
got your ducks in a row when it comes to, hey, you're responsible, you're reliable, you're
mm,
consistent. That's all square qualities. And we will get more into it as we go. But
yeah.
the whole point of today is purpose, downloads, realizations, which, for him was, you got to be, what did you say when we were starting the podcast? Like, you got to just be nice to people because you never know
Yeah,
who's the
yeah,
last time.
yeah. Like, especially like people you care about, or like, the closest people, especially, like, even if you get like mad, at them for whatever reason that's going on with your life, you don't want to leave the last message with them, like being like, fuck you, I don't ever want to
So
talk
you
with you
really,
again,
so
even
you
like
really think, I should answer my good friend to her voice text.
maybe, but don't, not necessarily like if it's like getting you down, but I'm just saying, like, don't ever leave things on a bad note in a conversation with
With the
anyone.
people that
Sure.
you care about, that are
Yeah,
in your life.
yeah. Don't ever do that. Never on a bad note. Never, because you don't ever know when, if it's the last
Isn't
time.
it crazy? I mean, just getting a little deeper into the rabbit hole. Isn't it
Yeah,
crazy that you never know when you're gonna die? Like,
yeah,
it can be today, it can be tomorrow. Like, every day, it feels like a
yeah,
lottery, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. But what's interesting, and I tell this and I ask this, a lot about, from my square friends, that if they would die tomorrow, would they die happily? You know.
and what is their answer?
Usually it's no. But but then they are like, okay, but would you, like, would I do? And I would say yes, because I'm here doing this podcast. I'm here making moves. I'm here trying things out.
You're
And
making
I'm doing
music. You're
my
doing
best.
you're
Like, I
you're
would,
doing everything you love doing. So
yeah,
you
like,
could
I would be super like, not super happy, like, but like,
you will be in
you know,
peace.
yeah, I would go in peace. I would go in peace. That's,
And
yeah.
that's what a lot of the things is that I don't think that a lot of people have feel that
Yeah,
and
and it's interesting because when you ask that question from people and they say no, they don't even realize that's sort of a hint to maybe you should do something about that, but they don't even realize it.
but like I was telling my mom the other day, it's like, how do you explain music to a deaf person? Like, how
Mm,
how how And some people just don't have it in them. They don't have it
Mhm.
in them to have that urge to grow and to be better, and that there's something out there. So that's why they become
Yeah,
super religious. Like, haven't you noticed, like, as people get older and older, they become more Catholic and more, because they're getting
yeah,
scared of death. So they're like, oh, shite, I
yeah,
better.
because that's sort of like the last escape out, you know?
Right, like I'll go to church every Sunday and I'll be good, and I'm gonna go to heaven and I'll be and I'll, no, dude, you ain't going to heaven. There's no heaven. This is heaven right here, right now, and that's the problem. So
Yeah,
so so so
and that's interesting when you say that this is the heaven right now, because I saw a video once that explained like this right here, this is it, and you know you can choose, will you make it hell or you will you make it heaven? Like you have all the keys, you know?
right, a lot of Catholic people, and I'm a Catholic. I was baptized Catholic, but a lot of people really think that when you die, and that's their way of dealing with death. I think has religions have a lot to do with that. Like, okay, well, let me do good. I'm not gonna drink alcohol, like for Muslims, like I was talking to my graphic designer earlier,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, Sophie, you have never ever like drank a drop of alcohol? Never. And she's like, no, that's a sin. Never, never. No, that's a sin. So they follow these rules throughout their whole life, because they think that when they die, then there's going to be something better and greater and bigger, and it's not going to be as painful. And I'm sorry to tell you, dudes, but this is
This
it.
is it.
Bravo, man. This is it. This is it. This is all we get right here, right now. These interactions, these realizations, these downloads. Bliss is here on earth. We can't just keep on waiting to die to
Yeah,
experience bliss,
yeah.
because when you die, you're not going to remember anything. And I do believe in reincarnation, and you will
Yeah,
reincarnate.
but still, even if reincarnation is a thing, this is still a unique experience for you, and you better do something with it, you know?
But how do you do something with it whenever you are on survival mode all the time?
I would say a very simple step is just like everything is worth a try or or a shot, you know?
But go deeper than that. Go deeper than that. Go deeper than that. How do we? What did I just say? I forgot,
I forgot.
because you weren't listening. Damn.
Okay. Hey, that's not fair. So, um, that I have to go deeper than that. Like it's not that easy that like everything is worth a shot. What?
It's really easy to say, give it your best. This is your only life. Blah blah blah. But how do you do that when you feel like complete crap inside of you? When you feel like complete
Well, you like
motivation,
it's like we have been saying all the time, like poco poco or poco poco.
or poco poco method,
It's
right?
like
So
small steps. Like you don't have to like like if you're thinking, okay, this is my one life, I better start a business, and it's like, whoa, but hey, wait a minute, that's a bit very big step. Like, okay, but like let's make it smaller, like okay, you need like I have a business name, you need to trademark it, small steps. And it's like,
that is so funny that you mentioned poco a poco. So we got this method called poco a poco, where what it means in Spanish, it means little by little. And it really has helped us with our anxiety, because we want to do so many things at the same time. And it's like you start freaking out. And then for some reason, I remember I started repeating that in my head. Poco a poco, Fabiola, just one
mhm,
thing at a time. And it
yeah,
just really calmed me down.
yeah,
So I started sharing it with other people.
yeah,
And I have gotten like 3 messages from 3 people, like saying, oh my God. And one of them, and four, my mom, it's like, oh, it actually works.
mm,
Like when she gets all flustered because she's anxious and she wants to get all this stuff done, she's like, poco a poco, and it really helps.
mhm.
But, 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 how do you explain poco a poco to somebody that is super depressed right now and wants just instant gratification and wants instant happiness? How do you explain to somebody that's completely depressed, wanting to die, wanting to kill themselves? poco a poco. You
Mm,
gotta be on another level of grow of on your self journey growth for poco a poco to kind of work.
yeah,
Because if
yeah,
you're at the
because
societal stage, then what do
yeah,
we do
yeah,
there?
because I have like my own Poco Poco thing, and that's like the 5 minute rule. Like you don't have to do a lot of things. You like just do something for 5 minutes. And if you don't like it, then stop.
You got that
I
from Mel Robbins, from our girl Mel Robbins.
Mel Robbins, who's that?
That's who came out with the 5 minute rule.
5 minute rule. Okay.
Yeah, she came up with the 5 minute rule or with the 5 second rule, something about five to where you think I have to do my taxes and you have 5 seconds to just get up and do them, and you don't have to do them for a long time. You just have to get up and do it. And
Mm-hmm.
then once you're actually doing it, you actually continue doing it. But if you
Yeah.
sit there, it's a 5 second rule. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
you know Mel Robbins, right? It's like Joe Dispenza. It's like Miss
No, I don't know her.
yeah, look her up, or and if
Okay.
and if you guys have never look her up and look up Abraham Hicks, Joe
Yeah.
Dispenza. I even like what's this dude? Um, what's this
Ooh.
dude that's always talking about Victor B the
Gary V?
people like him, that are like it's all about this whole self growth thing. So, anyways, guys, to make a very long, very long story short, the whole point of this podcast is all of the realizations and the downloads that you have been having lately are leading you to get closer and closer to your purpose. And what is your purpose? It's putting your gifts, what is comes natural to you, in service to help others. And that's when you will really truly become a triangle. Because in order to put your gift in service to others, you got to be a really good square and you got to be a really good circle. Otherwise, you can't, because you either too stuck on yourself and too selfish to you can't even think about anybody else, or you can't flow and do things effortlessly like we're doing it right now. Like none of this is scripted, none of this is planned. We just come on here and we're like, all right, this is what's been going on this last week. Let's talk about it. But to get to this part, we had to do a lot of square things,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right? A lot of square
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have to say, it takes a lot of practice to get here. A lot of practice.
It is crazy. And when people are super depressed at a societal stage, they're
Yeah.
not thinking about being productive and being this and being a, and practicing being a master square. A
Mm.
master square to me is being somebody that just pushes through and has self-discipline and is reliable and is consistent and is going with it. But at the same time, you can't just do that without having the circle part of it, which AKA is the divine feminine energy, Shakti. I don't know if you're into Buddhism or not, but it's the whole thing of flowing, doing
Mm-hmm.
things effortlessly, having compassion, being sympathetic, being open-minded, being looking at things from different perspectives. That's the whole circle thing. And the square thing is the push through, and I mean, square thing is the push through, and the circle thing is the whole doing things flowing like water, like the
I
whole
would say that the square thing is like the push through, but the circle is what you push through with, you know?
like what you got to push through, right?
Yeah.
Like what is it? And like what's the
Yeah,
whole
or
point?
not like what you are pushing through or but what you are using as your weapon. And that's like your passion or what you're good at.
Right. All right. Right. I
But
mean, we
also the perspectives because I don't know, like I've always liked the word perspective. Like that's why I like to read books and especially about subjects I'm not really in the same of the same opinion with because it's perspective and it's like
pers-
always when nothing if nothing is working, then maybe you have to change your perspective or try something else, like from another perspective.
But in
It's
order to
it's
in order to do that, you have to have it within you to want to do
yeah,
that,
yeah,
right?
and that's, it's easy for me to say, that okay, just change your perspective, dude, but it's like, but it's everyone needs to understand it in their own way, and it's like I didn't understand what Gary Vee was talking about before I had to experience it myself, and put my own words into it. That's when you start understanding everything.
I like that dude because his message is very simple. It's like, what are you doing with all this social media free way of expressing public advertising yourself, and you're just so shy to even go on there. That's why this podcast goes one level deeper, and it's because why don't you do that? Gary Lee, you can sit there and tell people that they're not taking advantage of social media and of the new age and AI and this and that. But if they don't love themselves, dude, if they feel worthless, dude, they're not gonna want to get on camera. It's hard to get on camera whenever you don't love yourself and you doubt yourself. So you can sit there and talk all about how you're not taking advantage of it, which is valid. I agree with you, Gary Lee or V. What's
V
his name? V.
V Gary V.
Gary V, I agree with you. I agree with you. It's like there's no time like today. Like we have everything at our disposal with our phones right here, right now. But if you don't have the self-love and the self-worth, then there's nothing to put out there. So we gotta start there. And I'm gonna end it with this note.
Hmm.
The root of all humanity's pain stems from our lack of self-love. And that's why we started a movement to make self-love go viral. Because if we can share with the whole entire world the importance of loving themselves before you love someone else, then we can actually cure humanity's suffering. I don't care. It goes all the way from government, corruption, people that rape, people that steal, everybody does things to be happy. That's all it is. But when you don't love yourself, you do fucked up stuff, like you do like really bad stuff. And like you think like, I don't want to get this, creepy about it, but like I'm going to go and be a pedophile and I'm going to go and rape that little girl and that's going to make me happy. But why do you do that? It's because you don't love yourself. You don't know yourself. So you think that your broken mind is telling you if you do that, you're going to be happy. But really, it's not. It's just your broken mind. And that's where the whole thing of operating from your heart comes from. There's two kind of people that operate from their hearts and people that operate from their ego. We all have egos because we're human beings. So human beings, we have egos. No matter how enlightened you are, you're going to have an ego. But do you mainly operate from your ego or do you mainly operate from your heart? And what I mean by heart is, do you mainly operate from an authentic, genuine place? Or do you mainly often operate from a place of ego, um, pride, recognition, um, competition? You know what I mean? Like, is that where you come from when you go at your days, or do you come from a compassionate, genuine, authentic way when you operate from your way? So this whole podcast is about a balance in between the two because you do need ego to make it in life, but you really do need the heart to make it in life. And if you don't come from a place of the heart, then you won't ever, ever, ever get even close to your purpose. Therefore, you won't ever be happy and you will forever feel empty. You will forever feel like something is missing. So all we're saying here is take every download and every realization as a little bit of the it's like a big puzzle, right? Like happiness, like it's this big puzzle, and every download is a little piece. And once you get the little piece, then you have to fit the little piece. So it's so abstract and so crazy because you don't only have to have the pieces, but once you have the pieces, you have to piece them together which piece goes where. And that's what it's called, the process of integration, of integrating everything that you have learned in life, all of the downloads, all of the realizations. But how do we do that on a mass scale, like on like massive, like universal? I believe that it's from self-love. So that's why we started a whole movement on making self-love go viral. By the way, you want to go follow us on Instagram and on TikTok, wherever you are. It's called the Stellium Movement, and this is really a movement in the making. And we need your help to make us help us make this happen. If you know TikTok, right? All those trends on TikTok, right?
Mhm.
And what is the TikTok
Dance things, or
dance things? They have
but
all
I
kinds of
feel
stuff.
that's not a big thing anymore, at least. But
Eh, eh, All I'm saying is, if we can make that a trend, why couldn't we
oh
make
yeah,
self-love
yeah,
a trend? Why?
definitely, definitely.
So that's why we're here, like talking our asses off about it, because we believe that it will go viral once enough people talk about it. It's like one last thought. Madonna. I watched a video of Madonna yesterday,
Mm.
and it's like, okay, Madonna, you're cool and everything, and you did your thing back in the day. But I feel that most of the artists and the public figures of today's age, they're not using their platforms to actually help the people.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like
definitely,
it's like
definitely.
like Skrillex.
I agree with you 100%. It's like, no, no, like what a waste, what a waste.
I mean, people that have millions. Like, let's talk about Justin Bieber. I don't know, 200 million followers. Let's talk about Skrillex. You know Skrillex.
Yeah, yeah.
You love Skrillex. I love
Hmm.
Skrillex. Um, what's the other name? Steve Akai, aka Steve Aoki. Steve Aoki.
Yeah, Steve Aoki. Yeah.
Whoever. Biden, for all I care. Trump, for all I care. You know. But what are they doing for the people? Like, the people, the people.
Hmm.
And that's what we're here for, to be your voice, to be your representative. Like, no, dude, this needs to happen. And we need to change the way that the music industry works, the way that the government works. We need new blood. We need new blood. We need actually people that are going to sit here and actually care about how you're feeling today, and not just having people that are there just making you idolize them. Like, I'm Madonna, so kiss the floor that I walk on because I'm Madonna. I don't give a fucking fuck about you, Madonna, if you're not helping people. You're just there dancing like an idiot, right? Tell me something that's going to help me, help these people. And that's why I'm so upset, and I feel so passionate about this, because I feel like there has been a waste of space in the music industry. I mean, tell me one musician, tell me one artist that you see trying to give people value, add value to people's lives. Tell me just one person, one public figure.
See, I can public figure. That's
Anybody.
another story. But musician, there might be, but I can't come up with anyone.
But just tell me one. Not no one. Not even. I mean, anybody. Anybody that's there for the people. Like, have you thought about
Oh
anybody?
wait,
Like,
wait a minute. Actually, I know who I actually worked with, Nicky Scorpio. What about him? He's an artist.
no, but I'm talking about mainstream artists.
Okay, mainstream.
You
I
you.
can't really say.
Hey, shout out to Nikki Scorpio. You got a fan right there. I've watched your videos. You're pretty cool. I watch your lives. You're pretty cool. And my boy here, he really loves you. He's always talking about Nikki Scorpio. It's like you're famous in his book. So I'm talking about Pope John Paul II kind of vibe. I'm talking about people that Diana Princess. People that are really inspire, that you can really feel their heart, that they're there with you, you know? I mean, I remember my mom crying over Diana's death, and she didn't even know her. But for some reason, Diana really care about the people, and you guys can feel when people really care about you, or when they're just using you as pawns to put them on a pedestal, to idolize them. Like, oh, Eilish, wow, wow, I love you, but what does she really do to help you be better? And I'm not
Yeah, but
going,
you're a big Billie Eilish fan. You're a big
and that's
fan.
why I named her, because
And the
her
production,
her production and her
that Phineas
music,
does. Yeah, it's genius.
they're the best when it
Mm,
comes to, like I aim musically for us to be like them, like
yeah,
production
yeah,
and singing, and like they actually
yeah,
sit down and think about the stories and produce together. That's
yeah,
why I can't wait for this dude to move to the United States, so we can
yeah.
just, like, do that like all the time. And I don't care if we're old and doing this. It's not a
Yeah,
matter of age.
you still see these people like, like Diplo is like 54 or something, and then we have like these, Tiesto and this old school, um people, and they are still kicking it, It's like it doesn't fucking matter. And then, these two rappers who are like 70-year-old, from United Kingdom, and they just became famous, Like it doesn't fucking matter how old you are,
Because at
Doesn't.
the end of the deal, it's not about becoming famous. And you know how music industry has a lot of standards, supposedly.
Oh,
Like, you gotta be
yeah,
this young, and you
yeah.
gotta sing this kind of music, and you gotta,
Nah, I don't
nah,
buy that shit.
not anymore. Not anymore. Meaning, maybe that was a thing of the past, but now if you're authentic and you're genuine, people will dig you, even if you're 80 years old. And and,
Mm,
and, and that's, for the longest time, I thought my purpose in life was music, and I was wrong. My purpose in life, music was just another medium, another channel to express this that we're talking about right now. But you gotta really think about, what is it that makes you tick? What tickles your pickle? What, when you talk about
what
something?
what floats your electric gravel goat?
Please tell me where you came up with that, because
Like
that's
I,
a
I
brand new one.
like the thing is, like, I thought I didn't come up with that myself because I tried to Google it like a couple of days ago. Like I can't be coming up with that. But like, the whatever floats your boat, that's the thing. But then other people have like whatever floats your goat, that's still a thing. But electric gravel goat, that came from like the game Skyrim, because you had like these magical powers where you could like shoot lightning, and then you would like have a goat and you would shoot lightning on it, and it was walking on a gravel road, and I was like, okay, whatever floats your electric gravel goat, and it's lightning. So
Hey, we're
I
gonna
don't know.
make one of those, one of our 10 commandments. Whatever floats your gravel goat,
Electric gravel goat, yeah.
electric gravel goat, whatever it is, whatever makes you tick, whatever makes you like excited,
Mm.
whatever makes you just super passionate.
We will
That,
have that on a t-shirt. When we start selling merch, we will have that on a
oh, and we're
t-shirt.
gonna start selling merch very soon, and we're gonna start doing a lot of things very soon. This just, like they say, this party just got started.
Yeah, well,
Just
we
got
we are
started.
still at the tip of the iceberg.
And it's a big iceberg. It's a 13-incher iceberg.
Yeah, like if
13,
you know if
13.
you know this fish, you should know like it's deep. There is a lot of ideas, a lot of ideas.
And if you know this dude, you know that he's like you're a really true Taurus, super loyal and super hard worker, and he just pushes through, and whatever he believes in, he just goes right on it.
Yeah,
It's
I
just that
go
for the
back. Like
first.
I don't give up. Like I remember I started with a goal like 5 6 years ago. Like I'm still going. every
and,
day.
and we're not gonna stop until we get where we want to get.
Definitely.
And where is it that we want to get to? We just want you to be happy. We
Yeah.
just want you to find your purpose and connect to your essence. That's all we want.
Mhm.
We don't want, you know, recognition and being famous and being this. No, we just want you to say, hey, thanks for that video. It made me get out of bed and try this thing, and now I'm better because of it. That's all we want. We don't want anything else. And when that realization clicked in between the two of us, and we were on the same gravel electric boat,
Yeah, same wavelength.
you
Yeah.
know, like we're like, okay, we both wanted to help people since the beginning, but we didn't know how to do it, you know, and I would do it like this and he would do it like that, and it's like, oh, okay, now we're best friends after 2 years. Now we know each other, we know where we come from. Now this feels natural. You guys have to see the first podcast that we tried recording.
Do you still have that?
I do have it, and I need to post it.
Wow.
You have to see the difference in vibes from then to now. It's like
I
crazy.
want to fucking see it. I
Oh,
want
I,
to.
I will send it to you. I will send it to you. So, any last words to wrap this podcast up?
I don't know. I have my usual words. I don't know. Do something different. Let's go with that.
Get out of
Yeah.
your comfort zone. Like the whole poco a poco thing is just get out of your comfort zone. Maybe drinking a glass of water a day can be the beginning of the butterfly effect of growth.
I like
And
that. I like that. One
it's really
bottle.
true. It's really
Hmm?
true. Like
Yeah.
it can just start as simple as, like, for example, me, I have to squeeze one lemon every morning before I drink my coffee, and then after I squeeze my lemon and I drink it, I drink a cup of water the whole way to unplug my PVC pipes inside, and it has become a habit. And I realized that a lot of my self love and a lot of my journey has been on mastering those atomic changes. I don't know if you ever heard about the Atomic Changes book.
Uh-huh. Atomic. Yeah. Atomic habits. No.
Habits, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard of it. Yeah. I've heard of it.
It's so true. And to end it, because I know that we're going on and on and on, especially
Yeah.
me. The reason why change is so impossible, it's because you're here, right? You're this bottle right here.
Yeah.
Uh,
But
right
like
here.
you're trying to do this, but you're here. Like
So so
is it
so
that
this is
thing?
why change seems impossible. This
Okay.
is you right now, and this is where you want to be. When we have a green screen, it will be better. But
Mm.
the gap in between this and this is way too big. So it seems impossible. How do you close that gap to get closer and closer to where you want to become? It's by doing the small, tiny little changes in your habit daily. Habit,
Mm-hmm.
like brushing your teeth 3 times a day, drinking water,
Yeah.
whatever it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, that's what that's what I usually say in my videos. Like, it's like whatever you want to achieve, you have to make it as common as brushing your teeth where you're at the point where you don't have to think about it, you
But
know?
the point is that people don't get it. It's because it's like, what is brushing my teeth 3 times a day giving me now? Everybody, we're humans. We want instant gratification. We want to feel good now because we're sad. So, what is fucking brushing my teeth gonna do for me? It's gonna build your self discipline, which in return will build your freedom. Because the more self disciplined you are, the more freedom you have emotionally and spiritually. But it
Hmm.
takes a very deep
Yeah.
mind to understand that.
Yeah,
And I'm not
Fabi,
saying,
how's your discipline going?
huh?
How's your discipline going?
My self discipline, I mean, it's going, but it's just like I'm planting so many seeds that it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, I bailed out on this dude. Like, when was the last time we did a podcast? 3 days ago?
Yeah, I
And
think
we
so.
were supposed to do it every single day. But
Yeah.
dude, I've been working my ass off. It's just like I can't go. I can't literally just go. So it's like but I'm like, we're doing one right now. And that's how you build it. It
Yeah.
maybe it doesn't matter if you skip 2 days, it doesn't matter if you skip 3 days. Don't just feel like a piece of shit because you skipped 3 days. Just
Mhm.
get right back on it. And then
Definitely.
and then here we
Definitely.
are.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, it's been a pleasure being with you guys again. I'm speechless at how excited I am to be here with you, to get to know you, to build this community, to do this with my best friend in the whole wide world right here, right now. We don't
Mm.
even know each other in person, but our minds and our hearts know each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah, and I think it's so crazy that how we haven't met each other yet in real life. That beats me.
Like that happens with everything. Like even my Amazon partner. Like we have never met in real life and we're Amazon partners. So that goes to show you that physical proximity means nothing whenever you have the heart proximity. Like you can know, you can tell when somebody's genuine. It doesn't, you don't need to be right by me in order for me to get to know you. And that's the
Yeah.
beauty of the internet. And that's the beauty
Yeah.
of our time. So take advantage of it. Take advantage of it and don't get lost in the little mishaps, in the mistakes. Like, yeah, you messed up, get up and get right back on your horse and keep on trucking, like they say here in Louisiana. Keep going, keep trying, keep standing up and doing your best. Because as long as you keep your eyes on the prize, aka growth, you're going to be fine.
Mm. Yeah. Let's
That
let's just leave it on one of the things that my dad taught me as a kid when I because I remember this. Now we are going into this, but maybe it's for something else. But anyways, it was on a car ride home for my piano lessons, and I was crying because I had so much homework, and I was like crying, and I was telling my dad, like I have to stop taking piano lessons because I have so much schoolwork and I really like, taking piano lessons and playing piano and making music, but I don't have time with it because I have school and I was crying and my dad said to me like you can you can like you can always just do your best and no one can demand more of you than you doing your best and no one can tell you that whatever you are doing is not your best.
that's a really good that's a really good note to end it on.
Mm.
Um, just do your best. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be big. It
It
just
has
has
to
to
be
be.
something.
There we go. Stellium, love, self-love all the way. Come on, post for our people right here, right now. Yes,
Yeah.
self-love, dudes, all the way. Till next time.